I love to go camping. There's nothing better than tasting coffee early in the morning at a campground. It seems to taste better then. And those campfires at night, most wonderful times, just to sit around and chat with friends and tell stories. And I love just simply the smell and the sounds of being outdoors. And I really love climbing into a sleeping bag at the end of the day. It feels so good. While I love camping, my wife not so much. For her, a holiday is camping. Something like that. I will pay for that later too, by the way. But I'm not sure I'd want to camp every night of a week, or every week of a month, or every month of a year. And yet there are people who do that in our cities because they're homeless. I've placed some statistics about homelessness in your sermon outline today, and also up on the screen, though it's very hard to read since it's such small print, but just simply to know this. Counting homeless people is not easy because of seasonal changes and the fluidity of homelessness. It's not easy to find homeless people sometimes, and they move around. So the numbers that you will find, the statistics, they're pretty close. I got them from the rescue mission who provides them. But simply know this. Homelessness is a huge issue. I mean, you read the newspaper, you hear the stories, you see the people. And California leads the nation in homelessness. Today I'd like to introduce you to 6 individuals who live on the streets. Jack Patino, our video guy, and myself went out to the warming center this week, and we videotaped them. I've known some of them for a couple of years and met some of them for the first time on Tuesday evening. Each of them has a unique story to tell, and as you hear their stories, try to pick up on the common themes that get woven throughout their stories. So with that, please watch the video screen.
Hello, my name is Lucas, and I can't really say that this is the first time I've been in this position. My family has always been rather nomadic, and in and out of foster homes, things like that. I always had to struggle to really make a stand wherever I was. And after so many years, I kind of realized that my family wasn't the best option for me to actually get better connected with Christ, nor to actually make a stand and be on my own feet. And about 16 years old, I realized that, and I've moved away. I haven't spoken to any of my family in a very long time. And that's actually what we're here for. I gave some family the chance, because she's never been off the East Coast. Me, I was born out here, and I was raised on the East Coast. I gave some family a chance, and we had an apartment, and I was making thousands a week, working like 20 hours a day, almost living at the factory. And they said, hey, come out here, there's great opportunities, we've got a place, everything's going to be fine. Okay, it's been so long, I believe you changed, I'll give you the chance. And before we even got here, they said, don't show up. And we were already packed up on the bus.
3 days into the bus.
Everything put into this.
I left my daughter the apartment. I left my daughter the car.
Everything.
Everything.
And then we got here. We had a little bit of savings we had. And it's just been an uphill climb since we got here. Because, it was about this time, 2 days before Christmas last year. And it was like, what do we do now? We were out on the tracks by Walmart, and there was a lot of kind people. They realized that we had just got there. Somebody said, go to this park. And there were some people there. They said, here, take some blankets. Here, I don't need this tent. Take this tent. And it was just like, every time I see that man, I give him everything I have, because it was like out of nowhere, the kindness of his heart. He just, for the good of someone else. And that's one of my biggest things. You pay it forward, no matter where or when, if you can.
A month later, they had the homeless connection here, right up the street, and we found out all the information we needed to, and just kept going from there, and we like to volunteer every place we can go. We try. God only gives you what you can handle, and He's given me a lot. I've buried a mother, I've buried a son, I've buried a father. He prepared me for this, because homelessness is probably the worst thing and the most prejudiced thing I have ever dealt with in my entire life. It is very, very hard. But you just keep it moving, and He gives you little signs. Like my daughter, she had my granddaughter on New Year's. Literally on New Year's.
Third one in Connecticut.
Third baby in Connecticut. So I'm quite like, those little things keep me moving. And then, like, the housing people tell me I'm right there any day now. You just have to keep motivating yourself. And I mean, I have a very strange disease called transverse myelitis that puts me in a wheelchair on occasion. Nobody even understands that disease because it's so rare, but it's little trials and tribulations that happen. Oh, there are days I cry my eyes out all day. Want to kill the world. Just want to give up, but then He gives me those little things.
Stay positive.
Like a granddaughter and stuff like that, and know it's going to be okay, because it can't get any worse. You know what I mean? It can only keep going uphill.
Keep getting better.
To me. It
can always get worse, but stay positive, and it can keep getting better.
You get judged a lot, because I've tried to get jobs, and even though I'm not supposed to work, and it's like they automatically know you're homeless.
That too, yeah.
It really is.
If you don't know someone here, I've tried so many places.
And we have having an accent,
if
like
you don't
know you're
know
not
someone,
from here.
You can't get the work. Best thing you could do is volunteer.
And at least doing something than just sitting around on the side of the road. You know?
Homeless, begging for change. I will never beg for change.
Yes, my name is Joey, and I'm here at the Warm Center here tonight. And I guess I'm one of the lucky ones that made it through where I'm at. I mean, there's other people and other young people that has it worse than I do. I mean, at times I work when there's work if somebody hires me, and then at times, I'm not working, and I try to manage my money. But at one time, about 2-3 years ago, I was out here on the streets really bad. I had a daughter that came out here in the street over a divorce, and I let everything go of my power, my job and everything to save her life. She was out here on the streets, got a divorce, and as a parent, I didn't want to lose her due to the fact back in 1999, I lost my wife in a very tragic accident, car accident, and I didn't think I was going to make it through that. I started to lose hope and faith, and I think that's a lot of the people's problem here is they've lost hope and faith with society. But thank God for the churches, and thank God for the Christian people that are really believing the Lord, willing to put a helping hand out there for them. We all have an effect on each other's life as we pass these streets, and somebody may be in a suicide, and just saying a kind word, you may give them an extra day or the rest of their life to live. But anyhow, I was out here, and I had lost hope for a minute, or faith. I was losing it, and at that time I became suicidal. But the churches that I would be confronted by, or the churches that I would walk into, would give me that faith and courage that the Lord, it says, come as you are. And the Bible says, come as you are, and He'll change your heart. And by me walking to some of these churches, I found that faith. I found that love. And that's what a lot of people out here are needing. They're needing that faith. They're needing that love from someone, and especially God, mankind itself.
Okay, I'm Becky, and I'm homeless. I've been homeless now for about 18 months. I became homeless this time because I found out my daughter, my little one, was being molested. And I couldn't stay there no more. And there wasn't anybody that was willing to help us. We didn't have anywhere to go. And so, unlike other people, I'm not too proud to beg. And I was going until CPS took her from me. I was going out every day and panhandling money, $150 a day, to pay for a motel room, to pay for food, to take care of my kids. And CPS said that wasn't good, that I wasn't doing it right, and they took her from me. And I can't get anybody to help me. I don't understand why. I don't qualify for the different programs they have. I don't, like, one of the housing programs, I can't prove that I'm homeless. Nobody's seen me sleeping on the street or in a doorway of a store or anything, so I can't prove that I'm homeless. If I can't get a place and a job, not even just a place, and prove that I can take care of my daughter, come May, they're going to take her away for good. And I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I struggle every day to try to find a job. Like I said, I panhandle money I need. I don't know where to go. And I turn to God as much as I'm able. I'm very independent, so I have a hard time letting other people just sitting back and waiting for stuff to happen. I tried to do it, try to get it done myself, but I'm lost. I don't know where else to go. And I don't understand. I can't find anybody that'll help me. I'm lucky I got my kids. My kids are awesome. I got 4 great kids, and they're so awesome. They don't. I've had problems with drugs, but the grace of God, I'm dealing with it. And my kids, they don't ever give up on me. They understand, and they are so supportive. They're so awesome. But the rest of my family, they suck. They suck. They look at my drug history, and that's it. They don't look at anything else. They won't help me. They won't give me a penny. They won't give me a place to sleep. I'd be lucky if they bought me a meal. And they judge my kids by me. And I feel like crap because I can't give my kids more. No matter how hard I try, I can't. I've been suicidal quite often the last year and a half. So I just don't. A lot of times I don't feel that anybody would care. I know my kids would and everything, and that right there is what keeps me going. And so I don't want to hurt my kids like that. But I don't see. At this point, I see very little a little way out, away from where I'm at.
My name is Bobby. I want to say that career military. I was in the military for quite a few years. I was married forever. Had 3 kids that were I'm very proud of them. I was married 40 years. And I got divorced. Everything went to pot. I got into drugs after the military, but I entertained drugs in the military quite a bit. And I came home, and everything was sort of weird because adjusting to society was a little bit different because I was in the military a while, so it affected me. And I didn't realize that, and till I got out here into society. I didn't know how to function in society, so I stayed in the drug world. And it affected my family. And thank God that my kids were just completely anti-drug, and I put both my boys in the military. And I gave them a real strong work ethic, and I'm grateful that they took to that, but that left me, homeless and empty and alone. I lost my family to cancer. My mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, and then I'm the last of the Mohegans, so, I'm out here doing this struggle now. I'm very blessed, I'm very grateful that I have the opportunities to grab on to something that I want to do. But at this point in my life, I'm not young anymore. I'm trying to grasp that, and I pray. I pray a lot, because in all sincerity, that's the only thing I have left. That's the only thing I have left.
Hi, my name is Merced. I started about 2015, where my life started to struggle. My health got bad, where I started to lose my walking ability, my feelings in my legs. And I was working, but then as it seemed to get worse, so I couldn't work. And so I ended up losing my place, and that's how I ended up homeless. And I was looking for a lot of help, and I got no help. So I turned to God. But I've always was a person going to church all the time. I had a lot of years following God in churches, but wasn't really being fed and really understanding God, even though I felt like I had a sore relation to God. And when I had to go through that, that's the first, one of the tougher things that I had to challenge was homelessness, how to deal with it. And now I'm older. My health went down. Not only just my feet went numb, my hands went numb. So now I don't got use of my hands and my feet very good. And I'm one to be very active all the time. And then when that took that away, well, I naturally just said, well, I can't take medicine. I'm allergic to everything. So I turned everything to God and started getting closer to God and saying, God, I know you have a purpose for this. So I started trusting Him and putting on Him that I'm going to go through this. I don't know why. If you want me to go through homeless, I always try to be a good person. But it doesn't matter to God. If you're going to go through something, He's going to allow you to. And that's what I had to do. And as I was going through, I was at a certain church, and I got in as a family because I had no family. I had lost all my family. My wife died. My closest people, my mother died. Everybody in my life I was close to died. So everybody's gone, and I felt alone. I said, what am I going to do now, God? And then he said, well, now you got me. There's no distractions anymore, so I had to turn to God, and that helped me to, as I was getting closer to God and going through this, it was really tough, but he took care of me. No money, sick, but trusting him, and all of a sudden it started getting better. I had like high, almost close to being diabetic, was sleeping. All these things came at one time also, and then gradually, as I continued following God, it started going away, and little by little. And then about this year, I came to this warming center, and I'm glad that God put amenity and people to reach out to the poor, the lost, the broken, because as I'm going through homelessness, that's all I'm meeting on the streets. But I haven't given up. I'm saying I'm down, but I haven't given up because I know that God's on this and he's got me, and I have to trust in him. But sometimes it's quiet. Nothing happens, and it seems to get worse. But I hang in there. And now that I'm at this place, I see that God's putting humanity, reaching out to folks. But the sad thing is, like, a lot of them are confused. Everybody has a story. Not everybody's drug addict or mental, but there is some, and that makes it a bad name for everybody because they cannot control themselves. They're giving up hope. They don't know who God is. They're confused. And I just go around as a sower, planting seeds in people using the kindness and the love that God says to do. That's it.
So one of the common themes that I hear in stories such as this is God. Whether it's people who are seeking to have a relationship with God, or depending on God, or in some cases being angry with God. Also, the reflection that the people of God, people like you, who stand in the gap to assist in times of great need. This theme logo that we have for this month is of a sculpture that you have to look at really carefully, because if you don't, you'll miss that the beggar in this scene with the hand out has a hole in the hand. It's a sculpture by a Roman Catholic artist by the name of Timothy Schmalz. It's entitled, "When I Was Hungry and Thirsty." And the inspiration for it comes from Matthew 25, when Jesus said, whenever you give charitably, whether water to the thirsty, or food to the hungry, or clothing to the naked, you're doing it to Jesus himself. So people like Lene and Lucas and Becky and Joey and Bobby and Merced, they don't look like this bronze sculpture, because after all, they're flesh and blood, bones and sinew, and thoughts and feelings, and stories to share, and hopes and dreams and challenges. Lots and lots of challenges. But according to Jesus, they look something like him. Do you see the resemblance? Amen. The peace of the Lord be with you always. I invite you to rise and share the peace of Christ with those who are near you.